ready? Yeah? Okay.
Hello, greetings and welcome.
Hello, and welcome to our 7th episode. Boy, time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, it does. Yes,
So we're gonna continue our conversation today about mind over matter. And what we're going to do today, we're going to discuss the different methods, right? Because we can say mind over matter, we've discussed different angles and, philosophical concepts, but there is actually a method to follow to get your mind, to get to that mindset where you are ready to make the proper changes in your life.
And for many people, it takes some time because they don't want to change. They just want to keep going the way they're familiar with.
Yeah.
But if you want to make true and lasting changes in your life quickly, you have to follow a pattern. You've got to make some changes in what you're doing, what you're thinking.
Yes.
In order to have that happen.
Yeah, you don't want to define yourself by your limitations. I think a lot of people find such comfort in the, I don't do this, or I don't like that, or, I don't like and I don't do, and this is how I do it, and they limit themselves.
And they share their weaknesses, too.
Yeah.
Why superimpose them on yourself? Or why reinforce them by sharing them with others?
Yeah, right. I thought am I the only one who doesn't like to talk about my weaknesses? You will not hear me talk about my weaknesses. Not that I have any. I got none.
No.
So we're talking about the methods, and I'm just gonna go over a couple of the methods that we're gonna be discussing, and then after that, Linda's gonna go a little bit into details. So we're going to talk about the meditation, visualization, setting your intent upon awakening, writing down your goals, having a vision board if you need to, positive self-talk, changing habits, removing temptations, forgiving, moving, making your bed, and reading. So we have our work set out for us. And so the first topic that I brought up was meditation, right?
You have to meditate not only on nothing, but meditate on what it is you want.
Right. Okay. I think a lot of times people think meditation is keeping your mind emptying, stopping your thoughts. But that is just one form of meditation.
Right.
You can meditate on your goals.
It's any single-mindedness is meditation.
Single-mindedness.
Yes.
So you can tell us a little bit about what do you mean by single-mindedness?
That means that ideally it should be spiritual when you meditate. So that's why the Easterners use a mantra. Mm-hmm. So that's single-mindedness.
Okay.
They use many different things, mudras to help them, chanting. This helps you to keep with single-mindedness, which is an important thing. That's why mindfulness helps us to become mindlessness.
Right, so I guess what you could do if you're not used to meditating, you could set aside 5 minutes where you just sit quietly with yourself and contemplate what it is that you're looking to achieve. In this case, we're talking about health, right? Health and fitness.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to better yourself, better your health, you can sit for 5 minutes and contemplate and think about what it is that you want to achieve, and maybe ask advice from your higher self and see what comes to you if you stay focused, and bring the mind back to the topic. I think that's important to know that thoughts are tools, and we're not used to thinking of thoughts as tools. We let thoughts randomly just attack us from all angles, and when we remember that thoughts are tools, we become the observer of our thoughts. So doing that for 5 minutes is not that big of a deal. It can be a great challenge.
It will help them tremendously, actually, to become aware of things. Listen to what you're thinking, okay? How much are you sabotaging yourself with your thoughts? So you want to hear what you're saying and change what you're saying to the positive. You want to affirm the goodness. So whatever it is you want to do, lose weight, gain size, in muscle mass. I mean, everybody has different goals for weight training, but they have to hear what they're saying. They could be saying one thing to themselves, and then they can be contradicting that thought another time. So you're building with one hand but taking down with the other. No good. You get nowhere. So that's what you want to do, is start observing. Start listening to your thinking.
Right.
And I don't care what their goal is, it's important to watch your thoughts, because you want to make sure that every thought and feeling is constructive and is along the lines of that which you're looking to build.
Right. Well, thoughts create feelings and emotions, and emotions propel actions, and those actions define the results that we're going to get, and ultimately our character. So I think it's really important that we become the observer and meditate. And then we have, along with meditation, visualization, right?
That's another thing. That's very important.
Yeah.
You want to
favorite.
be observing what you visualize, because people are on automatic pilot and they'll visualize the exact opposite of what they want. And your mind doesn't have a sense of humor. It doesn't know that you're joking. Even if it knows you're joking, it's going to believe what you're thinking. It's going to believe the sound of your own voice when people put themselves down.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm only joking. Well, your mind doesn't know that. And
Right.
it's
See how it
dangerous.
makes you feel, right? When you're thinking about something, is it an elevating thought? Is it something positive? Is it something pleasant? Or is it something that makes you feel bad?
Is it something you want?
Right.
Is it what you want?
Is it what you want? So if you
A very wise man once said, you can have what you say, but you say what you have.
wait, you can have what you say, but you say what you have. Okay.
You can have what you say. I have tremendous energy.
Right.
But most people say, oh, I'm tired, I have no energy. You can have what you say. Put it in the reverse. Say, I'm energetic, I feel good. And if you keep saying that, eventually you're going to believe it.
Right.
Or you see, if states create conditions, then conditions can create states.
So an example of visualization, let's say I take my 5 minutes of meditation, I meditate, I get my inspiration, and then I begin to visualize what it is that I want. I know in my case, for example, I'll visualize the kind of workout that I want to have, the kind of body that I want to have with those workouts. I see it, I feel for it, I plan for it, so I actually see it in my mind. I think that athletes actually are trained to visualize right
Yes.
before they go, and Olympic athletes, and
Yep.
before they go to do their routines, they see it in their mind, right? They see themselves doing it. So if you see the body that you want to have, you see the health you want to have, you can go even deeper. You can see your internal organs, you can visualize them healthy
Right.
and working and
Right.
functioning. And okay, you
Exactly
might have to
right.
look at the anatomy book. But anyway,
Yes.
Google my spleen, right? And then see that spleen beautiful and healthy, your lungs, your heart, your brain.
But they have to listen
Yeah.
to what they are thinking, saying to themselves, and they have to watch what they're visualizing, because in this society we have been taught to accentuate the negative. We haven't been taught to accentuate the positive. Even though there's a song about it, we always see the negative happening instead of seeing the positive happening. Like people say, hey, you're going to catch cold. And I said, no, you're going to catch health.
Yeah. And if you find that there's something about yourself that you don't like, okay, let it go. Find something to counteract that you like. It's really not that difficult.
Right.
Maybe, you might want longer hair, but maybe you've got nice eyelashes. You might want, to be thinner, but maybe you're like really healthy and you've got really nice muscle mass. And so find something that you
focus
like,
positive,
right?
yeah.
And then visualize positively around that.
Right.
So we got meditation, we got visualization, right?
Wait, I just want to make a comment.
Of course.
The more you focus on the positives, the negatives begin to fall away.
Right.
You don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
They're not there.
Right. And let's face it, who doesn't want to be happy? Everybody wants to be happy, but it's almost like, being happy, we're not allowed to be happy that long. We got to find something wrong that needs fixing. Positive thinking. So we have meditation and we have visualization, and then another method to go along with this is set the intention of what it is that you want to do, And I add upon awakening. I think it's important in the morning,
Yep.
you do a little meditation, you do a little visualization, and you set your intent.
Yep.
Meaning, today I'm going to work out. Today I'm going to eat healthy. Today,
I'm going to change negatives to positives.
Yes.
No matter what it is.
Mhm.
Look at your day, look at where your struggles have been, and turn it around.
Yes.
You must be a problem solver. So that means you go from the problem to the solution. What possibly could be the solution to this? But if you keep going over and over and talking about your problems, you're not focusing on solutions,
Right.
and therefore your problems persist. But as soon as you put your mind on solutions, you become amazed at what solutions come to mind.
Right.
What else can I do here? How do I change this? Right. Whenever something goes wrong, I say, how can we plug this hole?
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. So setting the intent, right? When you start your day with a plan, you already know what your intention is for that day. You're going to eat clean, you're going to exercise, you're going to watch your thoughts, whatever it is that you have a challenge with, right? Now you're setting your intent.
And remember to be your own best friend. Don't beat yourself up over mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's what life is about. You make a mistake, and then you correct it. It's self-control and self-correction.
Right.
And it's okay.
There's got to be self-correction, right? There's got to be self-correction, and we
Yes.
can't grow if you don't learn from if you don't have lessons. So what we might be calling mistakes, it's lessons. So now we know that on a certain level, you set your intent, you follow your plan. Maybe you're going to falter a little bit, but you get back on track. It's never too late to start your day over. You keep when you visualize, you sort of program your mind for the day.
Yep.
And then I have write down your goals.
Very important. Very important. You're going through the action of writing it down. It solidifies the idea, the concept within your being. It gets into your subconscious mind when you write it down. It could also get there through repetition of repeating it silently or out loud, but when you write it down, it becomes definitive. And so then you're going to stick to it. Again, you may veer off track, which is okay. Learn from the mistakes or the missteps that you take. Learn from it.
Yeah, write it down. If you want to be healthy, you want to tone, you want to lose weight, you want to improve your nutrition, whatever it is that you want to do for yourself within the context of anything in life, but within the context of fitness, write it down. So that's another one. Then we also have, this is my favorite, a vision board. Got a little time? Want to do some arts and crafts? Make a vision board.
This came to me naturally, and it probably comes to a lot of people naturally. A long time ago when I started this, I would cut things out before it was cool to make a vision board and save it in a book. And I would have my clients do the same thing. Actually, we did this in corporations. We had people in R&D, research and development, get a book and cut out pictures of what they wanted to accomplish, what they saw in their life, and they would put personal stuff mixed in with professional stuff. So it can be personal and professional, it could be all professional, it could be all personal. Whatever it is you're looking to accomplish, pictures make the greatest impact on the subconscious mind. As a matter of fact, we think in pictures. We don't think it, a language written out. We think in pictures.
Yeah, we think in concepts. We see things in our mind. So the vision board is actually a combination of visualization and setting the intent and writing down the goal. And so I like the idea of a vision board.
Yeah.
It's very good. Yeah. And then of course we have positive self-talk. I think we've been beating this horse now for 7 episodes. Positive self-talk. Don't say bad things about yourself to yourself, because then you are defining yourself by those negative things that you say to yourself.
Exactly.
My goodness.
You're reinforcing them, and you're if you can have what you say, why would you say what you don't want?
Right.
Why would you say something that is going to be detrimental to you, to your well-being, to your life?
Yeah. That's very important. And then, of course, we have, I guess somebody's dinging. We have a change of habits, right? So we can actively change our habits. If we know that we have several negative habits, you don't have to get rid of all of them at once, but you can start with one, right? You can eliminate soda. You can drink an extra glass of water. You can choose to, when you're in a restaurant, take the salad as a side dish instead of the macaroni and cheese.
Exactly.
Right. Whatever it is that you're doing, there's always room for improvement.
There's choices.
Yeah, there's choices.
To make. And if that's one of our, if not our greatest power, is the power to choose. Don't be wishy-washy with what you select, what you choose. You have to do it deliberately. You have to do it consciously.
Yeah.
So think about it.
Well, keep in mind you have free will, right? And if you use your free will as a passport to do whatever you want, that's fine, but there are consequences. So we know that heart disease, obesity, diabetes, many forms of cancer are a direct result of the lifestyle choices that we make over time because they trigger parts of our DNA that are weaker, right? So the choices that we make for ourselves on a daily basis accumulate. It's a cumulative effect. Mm-hmm. And then we get to that point in life when we've accumulated a lot of negative karma. We've made the wrong decisions with the wrong choices, and then we have to walk it back because luckily for us, the body heals itself.
Yes, it does.
And making the kind of changes in our habits that are necessary. That right there, you pick one thing and you stick with that one thing, and I would say one thing a week, but one thing a month, whatever your challenges are, and then you stick with that.
That's the one of the greatest things about the body is that it constantly renews itself. It constantly renews itself. And you can get rid of that which you don't like and replace it with that which is good, and it will help the body to improve so you can get better. Do not allow yourself to think negatively about your situation, which a lot of people fall into. We all fall into it one time or another. But if we're smart, we can say, hey, we can change this. You not only can change it, you can improve it. You can get better.
Yeah, I think if you keep a diary of the things that pop to mind of bad habits, like, drinking soda, eating fried foods, those are just right there, 2 easy examples of something that you can completely get rid of and you'll never miss it. Right. You won't miss it. You can replace it with so many different things. Yep. A little orange juice and a little club soda, and now you've got like a natural drink that is not a soft drink. Fried foods, replace them with baked foods. Get an air fryer. There's so many ways around. If you like that crispy thing, right? Little funny examples, but that's changing habits is very important. But here's another
and very
one.
Doable.
Yeah.
You have to have the desire. You have to make the effort because it's not going to fall in your lap. You have to say, hey, you know what? I don't think this is good for me.
Yeah.
Let me look for a replacement. Out with the old, in with the new. It's as simple as that, but you have to have the desire.
And along with that desire, you've got to have a plan. And here we go. This is another. I love this one. Remove temptation. Okay, now.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. I happen to have, I'm not going to call it a weakness. Okay. I'm not going to call it a weakness. But I know that there shall be absolutely under no circumstances any tiramisu in my house. Okay? There's not going to be any tiramisu in my house. There's not going to be any tiramisu in the fridge in the guest house. There's not going to be any tiramisu. I'm not even ordering tiramisu as a side dessert. No tiramisu. And I know that.
Well, I'm going to take it one step
Because it's
further.
temptation, right?
We don't have any junk food in the house, zero.
Yeah, we don't have
and
junk
it goes it's all year round, nothing. If people are coming over, we'll buy healthy junk food,
Yeah.
and we'll have that available, and I'll permit myself to have some of it, when we have it and we're serving it.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing, is moderation. And I've had a challenge with moderation. I don't know when to be moderate.
Well, when it comes to tiramisu, there is no moderation.
Okay, so there.
Okay.
So you know you can't have it in the house.
No
which is
tiramisu
good.
in the house.
That's good. You know you can't have it in the house. Out.
Right. We don't have junk food either. It's amazing what you can do with dates and dark chocolate and nuts.
Yep.
You know, I remind myself that if I'm going to have something sweet, then I'd rather have something that has nutritional value.
Yes. What is this giving me?
And,
Conscious eating.
So,
What do we
no
get
empty
from
calories.
this?
But it's fun because I have, when I'm dealing with clients who have grandchildren, and how many times do I hear, oh, I got it for the grandkids, right? And the first thing that comes to mind when I hear, oh, I have junk food in my house for the grandkids is, why are you feeding your grandkids junk food?
Good question.
Right.
That's
if
a good question.
you know that the junk food is making you sick, therefore you're not going to have it, or you only have it because you can't help yourself, because you're addicted to it, because you have it in the house for the grandkids. My question is, why would you feed your grandkids food that you know is going to make them sick and obese over time? Why
Right.
create that habit?
Right.
Right. And-
Exactly. They're going to.
Yeah.
It's harder
Yeah.
to change when you're older.
Yeah.
It's better to start when they're young.
Yeah.
So if find a healthy equivalent, turn them on to something new.
Yeah. Teach them early. But that's one that just doesn't. I have it for the grandkids. No, Or we go out to eat because that's what we do socially. Okay, well, that's what I do socially too. But it doesn't mean that when I'm out to eat, I have to, eat the bread and the butter and the fried foods and order
Right.
side dishes that are unhealthy. So, I'm wiggling my finger and moralizing, but that's just, it's a fact.
Yeah, you have to
that's-
choose where you're going to go
Yeah.
to eat. First of all,
Remove
You gotta choose.
temptation.
Yeah, remove temptation and choose to
temptation.
eat at a healthy place. So
Don't have the chocolate-covered, salty pretzels. Get the regular
And
pretzels.
if you're going to
Right.
have the chocolate-covered fill-in-the-blank, do it once a week or once a month, you know?
Right. Like, don't keep it in your house
Yeah,
where,
exactly.
you're hungry or you want
Right.
something sweet after dinner, and then there you are digging into,
The wrong thing.
So that's another one. And then we have, here's a good one. Apparently, forgiveness. Forgiveness is a method to achieve your goals. Forgiveness.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more.
Forgiveness. That's a big one.
Yeah.
We're talking here about writing down goals and vision boards and changing habits and removing temptations, and all of a sudden, here is the hardest thing that we ever have to do as human beings is forgiveness. So what does forgiveness mean? Forgiveness doesn't mean putting up with the kind of stuff that upsets you. Forgiveness means no longer being emotionally negatively attached to something. Letting go of the negative. When they say let it go, let it go. How can I let it go? This person wronged me. Well, stop feeding
about it.
that feeling. Right, yeah. It's the negative feeling inside. That's
Yeah.
what that means.
Yes.
Because when you carry those negative feelings,
Yeah.
those negative feelings disconnect us from, I got it, the negative feelings disconnect us from meditation, from visualization, from sitting quietly, from being happy, from making good decisions.
peaceful.
Yeah.
Because your mind is thinking about the
Right.
how you were wronged.
Yeah. So forgiveness is so important.
Yes, it's very important.
What do you do to forgive, Linda? How do you forgive?
I just say,
Because you're so sweet, you're so kind.
you know what I
do you
do
do
to
that?
forgive? I just say, okay, this is a test. This is a test, and I want to pass this test. So I know I have to choose love, and I have to choose forgiveness. How can I do that? And the miracle, and I mean miracle, when you decide to do it, you feel better. You feel
Yeah.
good.
Well, love. People
Yes.
think that love is like. Love is not like. Love means wishing someone well.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're mad at someone and you're looking and you're crawling and you're like, oh my God, I can't stand this person, I can't. Finding an angle to let go of that emotion and to forgive and to be able to just wish them well. Just don't wish them harm.
Yeah.
That action alone.
We're learning like you're learning.
Yeah.
We're all trying our best.
Yeah.
Even people who are on the opposite end of where you are today, they're trying. They're making this decision based on themselves. Because we all are where we are by right of our consciousness. Mm-hmm. And we have, in some areas, we have to change our consciousness, change our thinking, and grow. So understand that everything that comes to you is a challenge, is a test. And it's for your goodness, and it's a test for the other individual as well. Or
the situation. I mean, we live in very, very strange, changing times. You know, there was a time when our grandparents, great-grandparents, lived through the Industrial Revolution. Right? When people discovered electricity and engines and cars and all of those things happened. And now we're entering a technological revolution. It's an era of technological revolution. So we are changing. Things are changing very rapidly right now. And there's a lot of changes going on in the world. And the job of the mainstream media and the job of the talking heads out there and the job of the ruling powers is to delay our awakening and our awareness as much as possible by keeping us negative and unforgiving. You know, I could never forgive him for doing this. I could never forgive this party or that party or this politician or that.
And you can't grow.
Yeah, you can't grow,
you
right.
Can't grow. You can't grow physically and spiritually and emotionally if you're not forgiving.
Right.
And you're doing harm to your own body.
Right. And that's a big one, because now we're talking about, social structures and things that people, and fears and social fears, and everybody's so afraid right now. And it's just this environment that really has nothing to do with our immediate environment. Fix what's in your immediate environment.
Right.
Don't worry about
out there.
The outreach of the ramifications of things, like who can you be kind to today? Who can you forgive today in your immediate environment? And I think that's very important to bring it back.
You said it.
Into those things which we can change, and not focus on those things which really there's not much we can do about it except yell and complain and be drawn into that ocean of negativity.
Exactly.
I just don't want to do it. So that's a big one. And then here's a fun one. Make your bed.
Which I do. Generally,
the first thing I do in the morning is I make my bed.
Yep.
There's something about making one's bed
I think
that brings order.